All right, here we go. So if you're feeling like this girl in the picture right now, I promise you by the end, you're not going to, because we're going to really break it down and make it something that you can just take it piece by piece and breathe and make it work. So just wanted to introduce myself. I see a lot of familiar faces. I'm so happy that you're here. My name is Olga St. Pierre. I am a local community resource, and I'm also a real estate agent by trade. So our team has been in the business serving clients in New Jersey and Pennsylvania for the last 14 years. I truly love what I do, and our workshops are a contribution to our community to help you take what you hear on social media, on internet, and make it relevant right here, right now to what is local to us. So we help our clients make life-changing decisions when they're making their move, and we are there every step of the way. And we stay connected with our clients with our concierge service, because once you make a move and you want to protect your biggest investment, if you own a home, that is what we help you do. If you're looking for recommendations for contractors, for senior services, for staging, to help you declutter, we are here to help you. So let's get started, because what I want to share with you today is that decluttering is not just something fun that you see. And what I'm also seeing quite a few times right now on social media is there's these declutter challenges that are coming up, especially for the month of January. I actually ran one back in April of 2020 when we were in quarantine, and it's kind of just helped, to stay focused and to actually make room in my home. So I do love these challenges, but what I want to share with you is the fact that decluttering is not just fun and hip and something that we see, but decluttering is actually extremely important for you, for your emotional, for your mental, as well as for your physical health. And here's why. What happens with stuff, whether it's stuff in your house or it's stuff in your car or in your shed, it accumulates over time. It grows, right? Think about the mail that you get every day, Monday through Saturday, unless it's a holiday. That paper comes in whether you like it or not. And a lot of times when you look around, 80% of the stuff that we have, we rarely use, right? So we use maybe 20% of the things. And then with time, it becomes too much. It becomes painful. We don't know where to start. We don't know what to keep. And then we just kind of end up saying, you know what, I'm just going to deal with it tomorrow. And then we never do, right? Does that sound like something familiar to you? So that's why it is extremely important for you to consider declutter as something that is like self-care, that is good for you on the mental as well as the physical level. Here's why. The declutter affects us on a subconscious level. That is the level we don't think about. It's something that we do automatically. We kind of go about our day. And what the declutter does, it just sits there. We don't think about it, but it's there draining us of energy. And what that means is that it can be a source of stress. It can be a source of depression, health issues, especially if it's in the bedroom and you just can't stay focused and you're not sleeping well. It could be family problems and challenges where, some family members are resentful because of all the stuff, and, you're not sure how to deal with it. So you just kind of let it go and put it aside. And home disrepair, which is what I see quite often, because once you clean and move all this clutter, there might have been some rodents that decided to make home in the paper, and then the disrepair has happened, and then it went on for a long period of time, and now we have some serious issues that we need to deal with. And I actually have a house right now that we're working on, and I told family, I said, until we get all this clutter out, I don't know what the condition of the house is, so I can't give you strategic information to help you make decisions. So this is why I think decluttering is super, super important. It affects our energy, and it just affects everything, I think, when we go about our daily business. So how are we going to do this, right? Like, what does that mean? Where do we go from here? So my job tonight is to help you figure it out and do it little by little, take it piece by piece. And as you can imagine, everybody's situation is different. So when I'm thinking about declutter in my own home, or I'm helping my clients, because a lot of the times, as you can imagine, making a move starts with deciding what stuff clients are taking, what stuff is going to either stay or needs to be donated or it needs to go somewhere. That's what we're starting out with. So here's how we're going to do this. Okay, so number one, we're going to decide on our first appointment. So think of it as an appointment that you make with a doctor. If you need to take your kids to the doctors, if you need to take your kids to dance class, you do it because it is on your calendar, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to take out a calendar, and I encourage you to do it maybe after the workshop tonight or maybe first thing in the morning. And you're going to look at your calendar and say, okay, I'm going to do 45 minutes to an hour of a first decluttering appointment, and I'm going to do it for myself, and I'm going to honor it. Okay. And then once you get more comfortable, you can then schedule maybe another time, but we're just going to focus right now for just one. Okay. So then the next step that I'm going to ask you to do is make sure that you have no distractions. We're going to put our phone on silent. We're going to make sure that your family knows that you are doing something that is important, and you're going to stay focused for 1 hour, and you're going to actually set a timer. So I encourage you to take a kitchen timer or to use a timer on your microwave or a timer on your stove. Please don't use your phone, because a phone, as you know, is a major distractor, because it beeps, it vibrates, it makes all these different noises to kind of disrupt our focus. Okay. Next thing is we're going to change into comfortable clothing. I have great news for you guys that when you declutter, it's a workout. So if you like 2 for 1, where it creates more efficiency in your life, decluttering is it. This is why I love it. And this is how I want to think about it in the positive way, right? You are going to get a workout. You're going to burn up some calories. So let's wear some comfortable clothes. Make sure you have some water nearby because you're going to get thirsty. And before you get started with your appointment, make sure that you eat because you're probably going to get hungry. So then decide how you're going to support yourself in that endeavor. So you can put on some music like a candle, maybe open up blinds to let the light in, open a window because we're having crazy weather right now. And then we're going to get started, okay? A lot of you guys know, I have it right here, notebooks. I am a queen of using regular physical notebooks. And here's the reason why. There is something about a positive chemical reaction in your brain when you take a pen or pencil and you write something down. So don't use your phone. Don't put it in the note app. Use a physical notebook. And I encourage you to get a notebook specifically for your decluttering project. It's going to make you feel good. And when you open it and you see all your notes, your brain is going to be excited because it's going to see progress. And that's what we want, right? A little bit at a time, we're going to make progress. So your notebook is going to be there for you to help you in this process. You're going to jot down notes. You're going to jot down reminders where you stopped, maybe your plans, right? If you're going through and decluttering and you need to contact your family members because you have some things that you found that they may want, you're going to set a reminder for yourself to reach out to them and give them a deadline on when they need to let you know if this item that they're interested in or no, they're not, and then you're going to donate it, right? So that notebook is going to keep you focused and it's going to contain all that information. And it's also helpful that I have found is just not to keep more stuff in our head. I think we have enough stuff to worry about and to keep on our head. And just to put it down on paper, it's also going to give your brain a break, knowing that it doesn't have to stress over remembering something that's important to you. Because when you commit it to paper, you're committing it to memory. So, hey, we just talked about challenge. Let's make it fun. Okay. I encourage you to create a challenge for yourself. If you want, Google and see what's out there right now. There are very different things that are available. So here are some examples. You can do a 30-day declutter challenge. And if you're not sure, you can just use this as a guide. So let us know and we can email these suggestions for you. You can do 12 things, right? Let's say you have an hour and you say, you know what, I'm just going to focus on one room and I'm going to find 12 things that I'm going to get rid of one way or the other. Okay. And of course, there's also 21-day challenge. There's all kinds of things. And all of those things exist for you to pick and choose and decide on what you feel comfortable, right? What is appealing to you? Okay. So that's how we're going to make it fun. So here's our plan. We have our appointment and we have that scheduled. Next thing is we need to have some tools. Now, please don't overthink it. Don't make it complicated. I am talking about very simple things to help you. You need your trash can and recycle can. You need some storage bins. If you don't have bins, we're going to use bags. If you don't have bags, you can use boxes. If you don't have those, we're going to use corners in each of the in the room. You have 4 corners, which is what we're going to do. Okay. I recommend having Post-it notes in different colors for labeling. If you have different color masking tape, that's also helpful. Like if you're working with furniture and you really want to mask everything and kind of label everything. And then what we're going to do is label our boxes or storage bins with a couple of different criteria. Number 1 is we're keeping, second one is donating, third is undecided, then throw away and selling. Okay, so by the end of 1 hour, I challenge you to have something in each of those boxes. Now, we cannot put everything in the undecided pile, everyone. No, we're going to have a little bit in each of those boxes. So that way, by the end of 1 hour, you're going to have something in one of these 5 categories, and you're going to give yourself grace, because if you still have something in the undecided pile, that's okay. Sometimes you may not be able to make a decision as quickly as possible. Okay. So keeping these guidelines in mind, number 1, I encourage you to trust your intuition and your judgment. The first thought that comes into your mind when you're holding something, if it does not bring smile to your face, it kind of makes you cringe and you can feel your energy going down the hill, you don't want to keep it. If you're looking at it and you say, you know what, I love it, okay, we're going to keep it. So I want you to think about it and trust your judgment, and don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it. Okay, so then you're going to work for your 1 hour time slot. And when that timer is up, guess what? We're going to pat ourselves on the back, and then we're going to make notes in our notebook. Here's what I accomplished. Here's the room that I'm working in. Here's what I started, and here's where I stopped. Here is potentially when I'm going to continue. And what do I need to do with the stuff that I'm going to be selling, for example, right? Because then what you can do is the box that says donate, you could just take it straight to your car. And next time you're passing by Salvation Army, you can drop it off. Stuff that is throw away, you can take it straight into the trash or recycle, right? So you already took care of a couple of boxes. So that's how you're going to stay focused. And that's when you're going to wrap up your notes, but that's also going to help you remember for your next appointment that you're going to make with yourself where you stopped and where you're going to get started. So let's jump in and talk about specifically different rooms of your home. For a lot of you, you know that I am a big believer in making your life easier. Okay, we don't need to complicate it anymore, because universe already does it and others do it for us. So what I want you to think about and how I invite you to approach decluttering is spending a lot of time and focusing right now, but also setting up systems in the rooms, in the places that you're decluttering, so that way you will never have to go through such an intense process again. Because I get it, it is stressful, it is emotional, and this is why it's such a challenge for many people. Okay, so when I say systems, for example, if you're in the kitchen, let's figure out how can we use most of our space. If you are in older homes, you don't have a lot of space. You may not have a big pantry closet. So, but all of us have a lot of space in many cases under the sink. So think about the vanity that you have in the kitchen and how can we maximize that space. So what I'm talking about here is stackable organizers for your cabinets, over the door pantry organizers using tension rods under the sinks, having some of these pantry racks under cabinet hooks. So what I want you to do is walk into the kitchen and just kind of say, okay, I'm going to look at this space as something to work with. How can I take what I have and make it work for me? Okay, so that is your goal. So what you're doing is, yes, you are making purchases of these systems that you can find on Amazon, at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart. But these systems are going to be there, and they're going to be staying in place to help you maintain your kitchen going forward. Okay, so I have lots of ideas here for you. And also don't forget to also declutter your refrigerator. Once you have items in your refrigerator and each of them has their own space, you're also going to be able to save money, because as soon as you realize you're running low on something, you're going to jot that note down on your grocery list, and you're not going to be wasting food because you have another ketchup container that is being buried somewhere in the back of the middle shelf. Okay. My next suggestion is using clear glass and plastic storage containers, and also going through and not only organizing what you have, but also going through the stuff that you already have and asking yourself, do I really need 10 cups? Do I really need 10 spatulas? And is my utensils, are they all in good shape, or is it time to potentially throw them away? Because as you know, with time, things crack and they lose glue and they disintegrate. So take a look at what you use now, your tools and utensils, and see if something can be thrown away. All right, we're heading into the bathroom. Same thing. We're going to take a look at our space and almost say to ourselves, okay, how much space do I have? What kind of space do I have? And how do I take that space and make it work for me? What systems can I invest in to help my space work for me? So number one, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the stuff that we currently use and have. So take out, you're going to have to go through this exercise. You're going to take out all of your lotions and makeup and bath gels and shampoos and conditioners. And if that stuff is more than a year old, I invite you and encourage you to throw it away, because all of these are chemicals. They're not refrigerator. And that means that the older they are, the more chemicals they have. And then you put it on your skin and then it gets absorbed into your body. And I don't think we want those chemicals in our body. If you have things that are expired, like medicine, you can drop them off at your police department or CVS or Walgreens. And then you're going to take the things that you use on a regular basis and you're going to set up your system. So you have a system in the morning and you can put it in the plastic container, like a shoebox, so that way you can easily access it. And then you're going to have a second system in the evening when you're getting ready for bed. It is also very important for you to replace your makeup and your lotions frequently. I am making it very simple for you because everything is valid for, 3 months or 6 months or whatever. So let's make it simple. 6 months. 6 months for your makeup. I can tell you that now we are just a few days into the new year. I just replaced all my makeup and I'm super happy because I got new colors and some of the things I got are the same, but I have fresh new makeup that I started on January 1st. So make it simple. You can take advantage of all the holiday promotions and get some good deals now. And then 6 months later, around 4th of July, you can celebrate with American flag and get some new fresh makeup as well as lotion for you. Okay, and I have some examples here for you on how you can truly utilize and make it pretty and make it special and dress up your bathroom. Again, I'm a big believer of organizing under your sink. There's so much wasted space here. I can't tell you, every time I go in, I make it a point to actually look under the sink to see if anybody organizes. I can tell you that probably about 90% of the people do not use the space that they have in their homes. Next, we're heading into bedrooms. So if a bedroom is on your list, I invite you to be very strategic and purposeful in making your bedroom your special and your peaceful place. Because if there is clutter in your bedroom and you're not sleeping well, the clutter and the stuff in your room could be a culprit. Okay, because for brain to ignore the clutter, it is that mental energy, it's that kind of hamster wheel that is spinning and spinning in the back of your head. So if that is something that is a concern to you, maybe you can start with bedroom first, because sleeping is essential to our well-being. So in our bedroom, we are going to start out in your closet. Yes, we're going to start out with stuff that we have in our closet. So let's just have a general rule of thumb. Again, let's make it simple. Let's not overcomplicate it, overthink it. If you haven't worn something for 2 years, which gives you 2 seasons to really decide on it, time to donate it. If the stuff is stained, torn, or bad shape, if the things you don't like anymore, if you don't need, it's too small or too large, it's time to let it go. Okay. I don't know about you. However, what I have found is that the things that I wore 5 years ago, I may not like the colors anymore. I may not like the style anymore. So give yourself grace to get rid of these things and donate them, and then update your wardrobe and buy yourself a couple of new pieces. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So there's a couple of ways and a couple of ideas that we can recommend to you. There's a donate bin that you can put in your closet. And when it's full, it's time to bag it and take it to the donation place. And you probably have heard with the reverse hanger trick, is where you put everything one way. And then once you wear things, you can actually see that probably you don't wear 80% of your clothes, only 20%. So let's go through that 80% and see what we can get rid of. Here are some suggestions for you, because sometimes if you're in the older home or if you're in the apartment, you just don't have a lot of closet space, and I get it. So I have some suggestions here for you on how you can maximize space very inexpensively. We love and recommend these IKEA wardrobes quite often. There are some times when there's bedrooms don't even have closets, or the closets are so tiny. Having a white stylish wardrobe is helpful. It's not expensive, and it has doors, which means that your clothes or whatever you choose to keep in that cabinet is going to be dust free. And of course, I have some other suggestions here for you on some jewelry organizers and shoe organizers. And of course, in the closets, please use all the airspace that you have that is provided to you. Closet Made makes some really great organizers for you to pretty much use every nook and cranny in your closets. All right, garage and basement is our next stop. So here, what I'm encouraging you to do is, number one, sort by hobby or season or type. Okay, if you have things that are for fishing for the summertime, if you have things that are skiing in the wintertime, kind of keep everything in one place, have everything labeled, and keep everything in totes, whether it's clear. If they're not clear, make sure you have everything labeled, so that way when you're looking up on your shelves, you know exactly where to find all your things. I'm a big fan of totes, especially in the basement, just in case, you know, if something happens and your sump pump is not working or you lose electricity. My next tip is for you to kind of, again, look at your space objectively and realize that besides using your walls, you also have ceiling as well. There are really great shelves that you can purchase now that you can mount to your ceiling, which means that you can use truly a lot more square footage of your storage area, and you can put your suitcases there, you can put the totes there, and then you can also hang the hooks to be able to put some of these things that you can put them up. So that way, potentially, if you haven't been able to store your car in your garage, this is something that you might be able to do once you kind of go through and get things organized. So a lot of these suggestions are the same that I have here for you for the garage and for the basement. And again, as you can see, my hope in the recommendation for you is to invest in the systems that is going to help you maintain this and keep it going for the long run. Living room and family rooms. So here, what I am asking you to start out with is books and magazines and paper. So the challenge with paper is that it is the biggest drawer and collector and keeper of dust. There's a lot of people now that are allergic to dust, and a lot of that has to do with all the paper that we keep in our homes. So start with that. Go through your electronics and cords, go through your pillows and blankets, go through your pictures and papers and magazines, donate things to the library, and then recycle the stuff that's probably not going to be needed by the library, and then decide what you're going to keep, and then make sure that you vacuum and you dust it on the regular basis. And also, when you think about it, when you're going through your pictures, take a look and see if perhaps it's time for you to update your pictures. I think the pictures that we take, a lot of us keep thousands of pictures on the phone, yet we don't take the time to print them out so that way we can actually enjoy them. So as part of this workshop, I encourage you, especially for the new year coming up, to make someone smile, make someone happy, print some of the favorite pictures that I'm sure you have on your phones, and create a collage. And you can use this collage for any room in your home. It will make a great headboard. It will make a great addition to your living room or office, and it's going to make you happy and smile because these are the pictures that you took of someone special. All right, this is an important slide that I want you to be aware of, and that comes from lots of questions that I always get from clients about important papers. Olga, how long should I keep this stuff for? And I think that's why a lot of us just kind of are hesitant about getting rid of some of these bills and things that are important because we don't know if they're going to ever come in handy. So here is a great guide for you that you can take a look at it. But the most important one is the one that is the second bullet point from the bottom. It's called Keep Forever. What I want you to focus on as you're doing your decluttering is to have a separate box if you want to make it colorful so that way it's easy to find. But if you find anything that is important, that is going to be hard to replace, any kind of legal documents, I encourage you to put those documents and keep them all in one place. Okay? And once you have everything in one place, my next suggestion for you is to get a safety deposit box at the bank, or you can purchase a safe, which you can buy online. You can buy it at Home Depot, Lowe's, as well as Costco, I've seen recently, and put all of those documents there, because if God forbid something happens to your home, your papers are going to be safe. And believe me, it's important because some of these things that I have on this list probably are not replaceable. So take the time when we forward you a copy of this workbook to take a look and see what in these categories is something that you might have laying around that perhaps should be part of your homework to put aside and tuck it in and make sure that it is truly safe. So when we're in the office, a lot of times we just don't know that all those papers that we have, how do we organize the papers and the important documents? And what I can tell you is that everybody's probably going to have different opinions and different system, yet what I encourage you to do is design a system that works for you. So the number one thing to think about is our mail comes into our house Monday through Saturday, unless it's holidays. So unless you go through it right away, and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, I always have one place where all my mail goes. And then on Saturdays or sometime over the weekend, I go through everything and I separate it into 3 piles. That's it. Don't make it overcomplicated. Pile number 1 is things and bills that need to be reviewed. They need to be paid. They need to be gone over. Some kind of action needs to be taken on those. And then once I take that action, I scan those bills with a note that they were paid or I called or whatever the message that needs to be on there. I scan them and I save them in my Google Drive, which is a virtual filing cabinet, or I save it in my Dropbox, which is a second type of a virtual filing cabinet. The second pile is things that they need to be recycled. So I have a shredder right next to my desk here, and then I make a pile and then I shred everything. Things that are maybe sensitive, things that I don't want to get into the wrong hands, things that you're not sure about, I do recommend that you just shred. And then the third pile is recycle. That's it. I have a bag here that I empty every Thursday when my recycle goes out. That's it. I have 3 piles and then everything gets taken care of. So think about how you may want to handle it. But what I do encourage you is to scan your important documents, because with time, paper yellows, it fades. And if the information is important and it fades, you're not going to be able to find it again. So now let's talk about the stuff that we want to get rid of. What do we do with it? Okay. So things to be throwing away. I have some great ideas for you. However, let's start with the basic one, and that is your trash day. So whether your trash day is once a week or twice a week, encourage yourself and challenge yourself to throw away something every week. So that's 1. 2, you can take advantage of electronic and hazard days recycled that usually are done in the county. So check with your county. I know they have one in the springtime, so something that you can plan for now. And then they have one in the fall as well. There's also services where they will come in and take your junk. I have had clients use them. They're not cheap. Okay. And of course, you can grab a bag from Waste Management. You probably have seen them on the street and use them, because if you're working on some kind of renovation project, you're probably going to have a lot of trash. So here's a great list for you of 50 things for you to throw away for instant decluttering. So what we did is we took everything pretty much from around the house that you see. So if you want to use this as part of your a challenge, right? Whether it's a 30-day challenge or something that you do every day, or if you want to use this one slide as your challenge, I applaud you and I encourage you. So we just thought it would be fun for you just to kind of take a look and say, well, you know what, I don't know where to begin. I don't know which room. If you just want to use this as your guide, I think this is just an amazing way to kind of get your creative juices flowing. So my next slide and next important things that I want to talk about are the things that are sentimental to us. And I think these are the things that are extremely difficult to figure out what to do with, because we feel guilty if we even think about doing something with them, because we feel like we're letting our loved ones down. And I think a lot of you will agree with me. And I work with clients every day with this, especially seniors, when they have years and years of mementos and keepsakes, and they raise their family in this house, and it's so hard for them to get rid of stuff. So I have some suggestions for you that may make things just a little bit easier. So you can choose a few pieces to display and make a collage or some kind of frame. My next suggestion is to take some photos of the larger pieces and then to keep them as memories. And you can create an album even on your phone or on your laptop, and then you're going to label it as something to remember memories from loved ones. Also, if family members want something, this is a great opportunity for you to pass around and pass down some of these keepsakes for someone else to love as well. So that way you feel like it's still staying in the family. Okay. Next, photos and albums. It is extremely important that you take the time and get all those things digitized. With time, albums disintegrate, photos get yellow, they get brittle, and then they get destroyed. And I think out of a lot of things, making sure that we keep photos of our loved ones is one of the most important things that we can do. And I have some suggestions here for you to help you do it either yourselves, or if you want to hire an online service, there's quite a few of them that are available to help you out. And as you're going through this process, what I encourage you to do is to remind yourself that you're not casting these memories and heirlooms aside. What you're doing is you're creating the breathing room as a live person who's currently alive in your current life, freeing yourself of extra weight and recognizing that what's most important is the new experiences that you are having right now with your family, and not some stuff that is sitting in your attic. So I hope you find this helpful. Here are some tips and ideas for you on how to display our kids' and grandkids' art. I still have some things that I have hanging around my house from when my girls were younger, and they're both in high school now. So there's some really creative ways of you doing that. So you can kind of take a look and see and get your creative juices going as well. All right, let's say you have some things that you want to sell or get rid of, or maybe donate. So how we're going to do this? Well, we can start the traditional route of going through eBay, selling some things on Etsy. Social media has been great lately. I actually just sold a little piece of something today. A person came to my porch, she picked up the item and then left the money in my mailbox, and I did that through Facebook Marketplace. So look at those things. Apps that I have suggested here are super simple. Next door neighborhoods, if you have things that are designer, you may want to consider using Poshmark, or you can go the traditional route of just hosting a garage yard sale or estate sale. And also, we do have estate companies that I can recommend who can do that for you, especially if you have a bigger area to handle, or maybe a lot more things. So how do you stay clutter free? Okay, so that's something that we're talking about, is in addition to you saying, okay, I'm going to work through this. The goal is not for you to do this on a regular basis, because it is too stressful and it is too much. So that's why I am strongly suggesting for you to invest and set up the systems to help you through this process, so that way you don't ever have to go back to doing a decluttering. All you're doing is tidying up and cleaning up. Okay, so as you do this, it's a lot easier for you to do a little bit every day or a little bit at a time when you're cleaning, let's say on a weekly basis, than waiting for months at a time and then having to deal with a pile. Okay, so don't put stuff down, put it away right away. Schedule a few times a year to actually donate your household items that maybe you no longer use or need. And then keep donation boxes in your closet, in your bathroom if you want. I have one in my shed. This way, if you see something, just throw it in there. So you don't have to worry about it. Of course, one in, one out rule is popular, where if you buy something for yourself, whether it's a piece of clothing or you buy something for the kitchen, you have to figure out what you're going to donate. One thing in and then one thing out. And as I already mentioned to you before, have paperwork system, whether it's a filing cabinet or you're going to be scanning things, and then have your shredder, have your recycle bin. These are a couple of things that can be in your office system to help you make sure that you're staying on top of paperwork and the mail that is coming in every day. So this is your action plan. I know that we talked about a lot of things, yet what I'm encouraging you to do is to pick the most important room in your house, your favorite room. If you're going to do this in your home, or if it's in your apartment, you can pick your favorite spot and set the appointment. Okay, that is going to be your number one thing. My next suggestion to you is to grab a notebook. That's where we already talked about it. And then I'm asking you to maybe sit down and just spend 10 minutes jotting down your thoughts. What's bothering you? Why are you deciding to go on this journey? What are your concerns? Maybe you have a time frame. Maybe there's a deadline that you have to abide by. Do you need to ask for help, right? If you have boxes in the basement or in the attic that need to come down, do you need to maybe hire some muscle to help you do that? And that's what's been keeping you from actually doing this project in the first place, okay? Sometimes people can't stay focused, so maybe hiring an organizer to help you sort and stay focused is going to be helpful as well. And if you do have a deadline, when would you like to be done and why? Next helper is painter's blue tape. I already mentioned to you. They also now have it in all different kind of fun colors. What I like about it is it's peelable and it doesn't leave any kind of residue behind, so you can take it away and put it back on and make a decision on this. It's especially helpful when you're dealing with big items like furniture, okay? And let's go ahead and get started and set up your appointment. So sometimes people say, well, when is a good time? And I always say, why don't you pick the first day off that you have after work week and do it first thing in the morning before we get boggled down with things and family comes over and says, I need this, I need to go that, I have to go food shopping. Do it first thing in the morning so that way it's fresh. And I think it's also going to energize you for the day and as well as for the weekend ahead. And I hope that you use this room guide from this workshop to help you get started and helping you get moving. So that is what I have to share with you today. Of course, I am here for you. I love to see your before, during, and after progress. If you need help or if you want to pick my brain, I've been running this workshop for now, 4 years. We've been doing this workshop and we're improving it all the time. I love hearing all of your stories, so please don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you need my help, you know where to find me on phone number, my text, my email is there. And if you want to find me on social media, most of the time I am hanging out on Facebook. And of course, a copy of this workshop is going to be available to you that you can rewatch, or you can always come back because we run this workshop every month. And you can also find recordings of this workshop as well, all the other fun things that we do on our YouTube channel. So please head over there and subscribe. And of course, we're welcome to have you for Motivation another month for the same workshop. You can find our schedule at Live with Olga at this link right here. So that's what I have to share with you today. I know it's a lot of information, but what I just encourage you to do is kind of figure out a small thing that you want to get started. Maybe you want to work on one closet and then schedule that appointment and get started. And I can guarantee you're going to feel amazing because you actually got things moving in the right direction. So let's see if there's any questions. Okay, if you signed up through the library system, we don't have your email, so you're welcome to message us through here or privately. Let us know your email address so we can get you a copy of this workshop as well as the recording and the workbook. So that would be helpful. All right. Questions from the registration. How do you stay motivated? What I don't think a lot of us realize is just how much of an energy boost it gives you when you see a little bit of a progress that you made. So my suggestion to you is, just like you schedule an appointment to get your teeth cleaned, you go to the dentist once a year, you schedule an appointment with yourself and you call it a declutter, or you call it my Empower project, or whatever, however you want to call it, and start with your favorite room. Because once you see the progress in your favorite room, it's going to make sense. It's going to motivate you. It's going to give you that boost of energy because you're going to see progress. And when you see progress, it's what it's going to help you keep moving forward. I read an article today that talked about starting with open spaces so you can see the progress as soon as you're finished. So do drawers and closets and drawers last. Sure, absolutely. I think everybody's different. Like, I personally don't have issues decluttering because that's my personality. I love open space and I need to see the space that is uncluttered for me to feel well. A lot of people are not like that because they like to have things because things give them sense of comfort. So I think everybody's approach to doing this and the system that they devise to figure out how they're going to do it is very much different. All right, anybody else has any questions, or maybe you have done something that worked really well for you that you want to add to our workshop? I would love to hear it. What is a home updating consultation? So what I do for some people is, some people will reach out to me and say, hey, Olga, my kitchen is dated. It's back from 70s. Can you make some suggestions for me on how I can update it? Because I don't have a very high budget. I don't have a lot of money. And what we can do is we can do a Zoom call where you show me your kitchen, and then I can make some suggestions for you on what you can do to update your kitchen and still stay on the budget. Or if you say, hey, my budget is a couple of $1,000s, or maybe my budget is $500, what can I do to spruce up my kitchen, as an example? And then I've had clients do that for backyards, for basements. I kind of just give you some tips and ideas based on what's in style now. Maybe go look at some suggestions in different stores to go look at things. And of course, because I'm always staying up to date on the new colors, on what's in style and what buyers are looking for right now in terms of kind of decor and finishes as well. All right. Anybody else has anything? I'm so glad to see so many of you here. I hope this information was helpful. All right. Well, if nobody else has anything else, I want to thank you so much for joining me. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that you embark on your first project, and please do keep us posted, and please come back every month and share with us what some of your wins and losses are and how we can help you and support you in your journey. Let's see what else we have. Do you ever do a private consultation? I can definitely try and do my best. So Marcia, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm happy to make some suggestions. I'm not a professional organizer, but just years of experience have put me in the place where I can make some good recommendations. All right. Thank you so much, Regina. I appreciate the feedback. All right. Thank you, everyone. Go out there and do some decluttering and let us know how you make out. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.